click on the App Store and then do a search for Classroom. And you're going to select Apple Classroom, which is the orange logo, and download it. You may have to sign in with your Apple ID if you haven't already done so. Then you'll click Open. Continue. I'm going to put in my teacher information. I'm going to create a class. Right. And then I'm going to click Done. So now my class is created. The next thing I'm going to do is make sure that I have my student iPads around me, or I have my students with their iPads turned on and the Bluetooth on in my class. Then I'm going to tap on my class and click on Invite Students. You'll see at the bottom here there's a code. The students are going to need that code. Now that you have your students added to your class, we're going to go over some of the options that you have as a teacher in the Apple Classroom environment. The top options control all the iPads in your classroom. So if I want everyone in my classroom to open up the Pages app and stay in it, I will click Lock in App after opening and then tap on the Pages app. And you'll notice the little Pages icon is next to James's device, and it's got a lock next to it. If I tap on his device and tap on View Screen, I can see that he is indeed in the Pages application. Before I leave this activity, I'll want to make sure I unlock the devices so that they can go on to the next activity that I have planned. The next option in Apple Classroom that I want to explore is the Navigate option. This will allow you to take your students to a predetermined website that you have selected, bookmarked, and placed in your favorites folder within the Safari browser. I'll tap on Safari, Favorites, and I'm going to tap on the Discovery Education website, and that will take my student to Discovery Ed. If I want to see if James is on the right website, I can tap on his device, then tap View Screen, and I can see that he is indeed on his Discovery Education webpage. You'll notice on the Navigate that you also have the opportunity to lock in app after opening. Keep in mind that only locks them to the Safari application and does not prohibit them from going to other websites within the Safari environment. You also have a lock option. This comes in handy if you need your students' attention. You can tap on lock. It'll lock all the devices in the room. You can say your piece or remind them of the task at hand, and then click Unlock and Done, and the students can go on with their work. Sometimes when students are in the classroom, they forget their headphones, things get a little loud. You can mute all of the devices, and your students will stop and look up, and you can remind them to plug in their headphones. You have the option when you're viewing your devices to view them like we see here, first name and initials. You also have the option, if you tap on screens, to get a quick thumbnail of what all your student devices are doing. So if I look in here, I might notice that James is on his photos. If that's where I want James to be, that's great. If not, I can tap on James's device and simply lock his. Quietly go over to his desk, remind him what he's supposed to be doing, click done, and unlock his device. Other things that you can do for a single device is tap on the device, and let's say a student has been working on a project in Book Creator and you really want to show everyone. You ask their permission, and then you can click on AirPlay, select your Apple TV, and AirPlay the student device onto the screen. When I'm done, I want to click on Stop AirPlay. I have the option to navigate just his device. I want James to go in and read some articles in Newsela. So I'm going to navigate his device to that website. And once again, I can lock him in that. I can also mute just his device. You can also group students. I don't have more than one here, but if I was going to group, I could tap, name the group. It might be my reading circle group. Okay? And then I could tap on the students I wanted to add to that group and then click done. In Apple Classroom, you also have two options in the upper right-hand corner. One is invite. You could project this from your Apple TV and have students then have the code that they need to join your class. You can also click the select button. You can select students and then use the commands at the top. So you could select 3 or 4 students that you want to go to a certain web page. Maybe a couple of students you need to lock their devices. Maybe a few more need to be opening their Pages document. So you can do all of that classroom management from Apple Classroom. At the end of your class, when you click End Class in the upper left, you'll get a readout of all the students that joined. And if you click on those students, you will get some data about what apps they were on during the time they were in your class. Now, it's important if you want to save this to take a screenshot, and that's done by clicking on the power button and the home button together once quickly. You'll hear a shutter, and then you've got the picture of the student and what they did during that period of time in your class. Once you click done, that goes away.